I'm going to reveal a well-kept secret today. Hey, sweet insomniacs, tingle lovers, and everybody else, welcome back. It's ASMR Zeitgeist. I hope you're all doing really well. Tonight's video is going to be a bit different, as you can probably tell, because I am filming from my living room for the very first time. And the reason for that is that I wanted to create a more laid-back atmosphere, because tonight I am doing the 25 questions ASMR tag, initiated by the wonderful and talented Gibi. Thank you so much, Gibi, for tagging me. That really is a cool thing to be part of that. And I am supposed to tag 5 people as well. So I'm tagging Paris ASMR, ASMRMagic, TirarADeguello, WhispersRed ASMR, and Nite ASMR. I'm sorry, just in case these people got already tagged by other ASMR artists, but I simply don't know. Let's get into the questions. When was the first time you experienced ASMR? I was very little. It's a very early memory, probably 5, 4, maybe 6, I don't know. And I guess it's quite a lame story because, like many people, I got my first ASMR experience at the hair salon. And I remember sitting there waiting for my haircut, and I heard the scissors somewhere in the background and the blow dryer, and I just zoned out somehow. And that amazed me because it wasn't a particular extraordinary situation. I was just sitting there, but I was able to recall this feeling ever since. And yeah, that was the first time I got tingles. When was the first time you watched ASMR on YouTube? That was back in 2013. I read an online article about ASMR and I was immediately fascinated. And the article led to a video from Maria, aka Gentle Whispering. And the title was, "Oh, such a good 3D sound." What's your favorite unintentional ASMR video? I have to say there's no such thing. I can't remember a video which wasn't intentional ASMR that I got tingles from. I sure watched Bob Ross before I knew what ASMR is, so that's maybe the closest that I got to an ASMR experience. I didn't got tingles though. I just found it relaxing. Oh, and I have to make a confession, and it may gross out some of you. I sometimes watch Dr. Pimple Popper, and the way she talks to those pimples, basically, can be quite ASMR inducing as well. So check out Dr. Pimple Popper. Name the last 5 ASMR artists that you watched. So I have to go into my history. Wait a second. How do I get there? I always forget that. Okay, yeah. I watched Vought Vortex ASMR with the most unpredictable ASMR. Also, there are a lot of other videos. I watched ASMRMagic, ASMR Sponge Mic, no talking, squishing and brushing. That was really nice. ASMRMagic is one of my favorites, by the way. I also watched ASMR German Teacher from my lovely colleague, German colleague Fast ASMR. Then I watched, of course, Gentle Whispering, Personal Trigger Tips, ASMR Roleplay, Crinkle Shirt, and the title goes on, I don't know. And that was 4, I guess, right? And Karuna Satori with an hilarious video, ASMR Beauty Guru Apology Roleplay. That was really cute. What's your favorite ASMR trigger to listen to? That's quite simple because it's whispering or the voice in general. And that can be a male or a female voice, I don't care. It just has to be appealing for me in one way or another. And yeah, it may surprise you because I do a lot of no talking content, but every time I watch ASMR there has to be some whispering involved. So yeah, that's my favorite trigger. What's your least favorite trigger to listen to? My least favorite trigger to listen to is a quite controversial trigger, and you know it already. It's mouth sounds, ear eating, and eating sounds in general. That's not very appealing to me. It can be nice sometimes when it's done by the right person, and by that I mean a person that I find attractive, and then it can be sexy, but then it's not ASMR anymore. For me at least, for a lot of people it is, and well, you do you, boo, if that's the saying, I don't know. Do you use ASMR to relax or fall asleep? I use it for both. I basically use ASMR in all kind of situations, like when I do my paperwork, when I cook, when I take a walk around the block, and certainly when I go to bed and I want to fall asleep. What's your bedtime routine? My bedtime routine certainly is nothing special. I just, well, usually I have a late night snack, I have to say, which is a bad habit. And then I brush my teeth and I go to bed. Sometimes I read a book, sometimes I'm on YouTube, of course, and watch some ASMR videos, which I do most of the time, I have to say. And I also quite often listen to a science podcast, which is really interesting, but also very boring. And it helps me sleep. So, nothing special. What's your favorite trigger to do, and do it? My favorite trigger to do is quite special. A few weeks ago I released a video called ASMR Experimental Spa, in which I had a big container filled with Orbeez, and I placed the binaural microphone in the middle of that, and I was digging around in these Orbeez. that sound was so good and so exquisite, and it was so therapeutic and relaxing to dig around in these Orbeez. And that probably is my favorite trigger to do at the moment. What's your least favorite trigger to do? I love watching roleplays, and I don't know if that counts as a trigger, but I myself feel rather uncomfortable when I do roleplays because I think I'm a quite wooden actor, you know, and I can play Zeitgeist more or less, but I can't play any character. I feel rather uncomfortable, but that always is a challenge, and I want to do some more roleplays in the future, so we'll see. How long does it take you to make a video? I don't know exactly, but I guess I hold the record for working the longest on my videos. Although I recently saw a live stream by the amazingly talented Good Night Moon ASMR, where she talked about the process of making a video, and she needs up to 2 weeks to make one of her role plays, which you can tell by the end result. Her role plays are stunning, amazing, and that's what I need as well for some videos, up to 2 weeks. And to break it down to work hours, I'd say from 40 to 60 work hours at least per video. Have you ever gotten tingles from your own videos? Well, that can happen in the editing process when a sound turns out to be really good, but I don't sit down and watch my videos intentionally to get tingles or to relax. So I already answered the next question, which is, do you watch your own videos? No, I don't. I get back to them just to see what I can improve, or maybe, as you know, I sometimes do compilations of older videos, but I just rewatch them, work related, so to speak. What software do you use to edit? I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I already had this program before because I had the Adobe Creative Suite from my work as a graphic designer, so I had access to that. And I can't compare it to any other program. It's the only editing software I have ever worked with. But from what I've heard, it's the golden standard, so to speak, for editing software. So, what time of the day do you film? Today's shoot is quite an exception because I film at 8:30 p.m. in the evening, and usually I have to wait until 2 a.m. in the morning to avoid any background noises. So in case you hear today some background noises occasionally, that's why. Yeah, 2 a.m. in the morning, and then until 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and then I'm quite exhausted, as you can probably guess. What's your favorite video that you've made? That's hard to say. I usually like my very recent videos, so I thought my Funko Pop video was quite cool. I like that. I also like my video, which I talked about before, ASMR Experimental Spa, which was quite a success, and I'm pretty grateful for that. I don't like my older videos. I see a lot of flaws there, because it's always a process of improvement, so to speak. Have one of your videos had an unexpected negative fan reaction? Well, it wasn't unexpected, I have to say. I don't know if you remember, but 1.5 years ago, or maybe a year ago, I don't know exactly, there was a questionable trend in the ASMR community. I'm talking about banana eating videos. And I made a banana eating video parody, I have to add. And in that video, the banana didn't even get near my mouth, I have to say, in defense. But the thumbnail suggested otherwise, and it's my most disliked video to this day. But that's okay. What video of yours do you think didn't get the love it deserved? I have to say that all my videos, even the banana video, got a lot of love and support, and I'm really grateful for that. I have the feeling no matter what I do, the majority of my viewers is really supportive, and they let me experiment and try new things. And thank you guys. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. Maybe I can rephrase that question into what of your videos didn't get the attention it deserved. I was a bit disappointed that my Funko Pop video didn't have as much views as the other videos, but it got a lot of love, so thank you for that. What's something the audience doesn't know about the behind the scenes of your channel? I'm going to reveal a well-kept secret today. You maybe see it in an upcoming video anyway, because there's a short snippet, if you pay attention, where I wear my glasses. I am very nearsighted, I'm practically blind, and behind the scenes I wear my glasses, but never on camera, because my glasses are really thick and I hate them. I occasionally wear contacts in public, but most of the time I wear my glasses. So, you didn't know that. What's the most absurd request you received from a fan? It already makes me smile, because it's really quite absurd. There is this girl on Instagram who writes me frequently asking for a video from me where I fart, basically. She even offered me $50 for that, but I didn't take it. And that's quite interesting. My most unusual request. Do your family and friends know you make ASMR videos? My friends knew it from the beginning, and they always were really supportive. My family, though, doesn't know to this day, and that may surprise you, because ASMR became a really important part of my life. I guess they would be a bit concerned to learn that I choose this as a living, and I do live off of it at the moment, but it can be over in the wink of an eye. And my parents, they go the safe way usually, so that's the reason why, maybe. Have you ever been recognized in public? No. To my own surprise, that never happened. I often talk to other ASMR artists and they get recognized in public all the time. And it never happened to me so far, which I'm thankful for because I'm quite a shy person. I sometimes get weird glances, but I don't know if it's because they recognize me. No one ever came up to me and said, "Hi, Zeitgeist," or something. So, not yet. What inspires your video ideas? Mostly watching other creators' content. That's usually quite inspiring. And what I do, I often go to the crafting store or the toy shop and I watch for unusual items that I could use in my videos. That's always quite inspiring, just to go in a shop and intentionally watch for absurd things that I can make a video with. And I also shop a lot on Amazon and see what I can find there. So shopping is my big inspiration, so to speak. Where do you find yourself spending the most time online? That's very simple to answer, and you can guess it already. YouTube. That's where I am most of the time online. And besides YouTube, I am frequently on Instagram and Twitter, and sometimes on Facebook. But I watch YouTube all day. I'm addicted. What advice would you give someone who wanted to make their own ASMR content? My advice would be, of course, just go for it. If you want to do it, do it. Don't be afraid. The community is really lovely and welcoming to everyone who starts out. But I'd recommend you to ask yourself, what can I contribute to the ASMR community? Because you know there are so many artists out there, and the question is what makes you stand out. So if you're a marvelous actor, you should do role plays, for instance. If you have the most soothing voice, then use that primarily. So where's your strength, basically? Okay, sweet insomniacs and tingle lovers, that's it for my 25 questions. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining, or at least relaxing. And I really hope I see you next time. Sleep well.